Assalamu alaikum. So the lesson today is about equations. So we are going to learn what is linear equations and different type of linear equations. So, but especially we are going to learn the first type, which is one steps linear equations. So this is what we are going to focus today. One step linear equation. So let's define first what is linear equations. So we're going to give a definition of a linear equation. So a linear equation is an equation defined by ax plus b equals c, where a, b, and c are numbers, and x is the variable or the unknown. So linear equation is an equation defined by ax plus b equal c, where a, b, and c are numbers. And x is the unknown. N equal 9, x over 5 plus 2 equal 49 equal 5, and so on. So those are example linear equations. So there is one name this type of equations. It's linear equations because we need only two steps to solve for the unknown. This is why. This is just a remark of so most of the time we most of the time equations equals is called two steps. It's because we need two steps to the property. So this type of of equation is a conditional equation. So there are different kind of linear equations. I want to go over those kind. So there are three kind of linear equations. Those kind is related with the number of steps we need to solve for the unknown. So we have one step, which is what we are going to cover today. One step linear equation, which is involve only one step and you get the answer. We have two steps linear equation, and those two steps are both conditional. So those are conditional equation. That means you're always gonna find out an answer. The, and this type of linear equations, you're gonna see contradiction equations, and you're gonna see the conditional equations. So factor type, tree type, the type of equations for that kind. Yes. So yes, so we are going to focus today only on the going to do one step equal. One is step linear equation is defined by ax plus b equals c and a equal 1. You see, it's the same thing as linear, but a equal 1, which means that if I substitute 1 here, I get x plus b equals c. And this is what we are going to learn for today. So not only that one, by the way, I'm sorry, we're gonna do another one, so we'll show you later on. So this is the first type, and the second type of one-step equations is when we have ax plus b equals c and b equal 0, which means we are going to solve for ax equal c. So this is another type of one-step linear equations. So either you are going to meet with this type of equations or these types. Both of them need only one steps to get the answer for x. Let me give you an example of one step. So for example, x plus 9 plus 5 equal 9, 2x equal 16, 7 plus x equal 12, x minus 11 divided by. Now, how we solve this equation? So we're going to do both cases, one, then move to the second one. In fact, equal sign property for operation. Remember, operation all in one spot, so equal sign property for operation equal sign. So if you remember, if we have A equal B, if I add the same number both sides, the equality stays. If I subtract the same number, the equality stays. If I multiply by the same number both sides, the inequality stays. If I divide by the same number, the equality stays. So this is what we are going to use here. So for the first case, we are going to use that one. Then after that, we're going to use the second one. So when we have x plus b equals c, you may have here a positive sign or you may have a negative sign. So you may have x minus b equal c. So either you have this type of one-step linear equations or this type of one-step linear equations. You see, as you see here, we have a number plus b is going to give me c. That's mean I add b to an unknown, it will give me a c. So in order for me to find out what's the unknown, so I'm going to use the opposite operation of addition, which is subtraction. So the opposite operation of addition is subtraction. So what I do, I minus both sides by the same number. So when we minus both sides by the same number, the equals stay the same because when we subtract both sides by the same number, the equality stays. So here we become c minus b, and here you see b minus b is cancelled out. So we end up having x equal c minus b, and this is the solution we're looking for. For example here, so if I have x plus 4 equal 9, so what we do here, we minus 4 both sides. When we minus both sides, the equality stays. 9 minus 4 is 5, 4 minus 4 is 0, cancel out what's left, x, and this will be your solution. Or you may have, for example, 3 plus x equal 11. So here I have 3. There is no sign in front of 3, that means it's positive. So here I will minus equal sign. What's left is x, and 11 minus 3 is 8. So this for the subtract here, we have a minus. So if I have minus, I use the opposite sign of minus, which is addition. Now, minus a number plus a number. It's like b 0. So that what happened? This is cancelled out. X and the equal sign is the same, become adding the number both. If you do the property of suppose I want to add, I have x minus 2, 5. So what happened here? Minus 2 plus 2 is 2 minus 2 is 0. Suppose I have sometimes some teacher, they can give you this, so they will give you like minus 2 number from taking off 2 number, or like 2 quantity from x is giving me 9. Always If it's negative, I use positive. So if it's minus, I add. If it's addition is x, and 7 minus 7 plus 2 is 11, and this is equal sign stays because case. The second case what is this case when it's involved either multiplication or division. If I have n times x equal c, we may have x divided by a equals c. So either we have the multiplication or we have the division. So keep in mind the opposite operation of multiplication is division, and the opposite operation of division is multiplication. So each one is the opposite of the other. The opposite operation for multiplication is division, and the opposite operation for division is multiplication. So here I'm going to use the property which is we did here for equal sign. So if I divide both sides by the same, what is this case? Same number. So if I divide here by a and divide here by a, so it's going to be 1 times x, just x, you don't have to put 1, and here will be c over a, which is c divided by a. So let's give you an example. If I have 3x equal 15, I want to solve for x. I don't need to have any number next to x. Here I have 3 x's. I'm not looking for 3 x's, I'm looking for 1 x's. So I'm looking only for 1 x. So I don't need to look for 3 x's. So I need to find out 1 x's. So what I do here, I have 3 times x. So what I do, I divide both sides by that number, which is called the coefficient of x. We divide both sides by the coefficient of x. So I divide both sides by the same number. So what happened here? 3 divided by 3 is 1. That means I will end up having what? 1x. 15 divided by 3 is 5. I divide both sides by the same number. The equal stays. So if I pick another example, for example, 7x equal 24. Here I have 7. I don't need to have 7. I have 7 x's is 24. I need to find only 1 x. So what I do, I divide both sides by the same number because I'm looking for 1 x. So here 7 divided by 7 is 1. That's why we'll have 1 x. 24 divided by 7, so I cannot divide this, so I'll just keep it as it is. When we divide both sides by the same number, the equal stays. So this is for that case. For the second case here, we have x divided by a number is c. So what I do here, we multiply both sides by the same number. So what happened here, I will have a divided by a times x equals c times a. A divided by a is 1, so I will have 1x equal c times a. Because we multiply both sides by the same number, the equals stay the same. So let me give you an example. So for example, if I have x divided by 3 equal 5. So here I multiply both sides by 3. So what happened? 3 divided by 3. So it's going to be 3 divided by 3x equal 15 because 5 times 3 is 15. And 3 divided by 3 is just 1x. So it's going to be just x equal 15. If I have, for example, x divided by 7 equal 63. So 7 over 7, just 1. So it's going to be just 1x. So it's going to be exactly either by addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division property of e. And please, if you have any comment that helped me to improve my way of teaching, do so. So thank you for watching the video. Assalamu alaikum.